He's cool, strong, smart, and saved the world countless times, and is the most popular FPS character of all time. Master Chief, Petty Officer John 117, is a Spartan 2 commando of a UNSC Naval Special Warfare Command, became one of the most important UNSC heroes during the Human Covenant War. With nearly 30 years of active duty, he has become one of the most decorated war veterans in the United Nations Space Command, earning every known UNSC medal with the exception of a Prisoner of War medallion. He's a protagonist and main playable character in both the Halo trilogy and Reclaim Yourself. Dr. Catherine Halsey identified John as an ideal physical and mental candidate for a 150-strong preliminary pool of a Spartan 2 program when he was 6. He stood a head taller than the majority of his schoolmates, had greater physical proportions, and possessed greater strength, superior reflexes, and an aggressive drive for success. When Dr. Halsey and Lieutenant Jacob Keyes visited Eridanus II in 2517 to study him, they were impressed with his intellect and luck. John was the first candidate Dr. Halsey and Lieutenant Keyes studied. Later that same year, John and 74 others were covertly kidnapped from their homes and replaced with flash clones, all of which would later die of natural causes to cover up the kidnappings. John, along with the other candidates, was taken to the planet of Reach. Dr. Halsey informed them of a Spartan 2 program and how they would be the protectors of Earth and all her colonies. The next morning, John discovered his service tag, stitched into his training uniform, and his new name, John 117. From this point on, John began a new life. He trained with other Spartans under Chief Petty Officer Franklin Mendez. For 8 years, he learned history, military strategy, weapons, and received physical fitness training. Early on, he bonded with Kelly and Sam, who would become two of the few close friends that he would ever have. John proved himself to be one of the program's top candidates during his training. When the Spartans were 8-year-old, they were sent on a training mission in which they were dropped over a forest located deep in one of Reach's snow-filled mountain ranges, and they were expected to get safely to their Pelican dropship. However, one Spartan was meant to be left behind, but John did not want this, so he grouped all Spartans together, and they all went to the extraction point, and John made sure that he was the last Spartan to get on board. ODST troops tried to stop or prevent John from getting on the Pelican extraction ship, but John got on with stones and severely injured 2 ODST troops, and Chief Menendez was displeased by John's actions. And in the end, John became squad leader, and sooner or later, he became leader of the Spartans as a whole. At the age of 14, John underwent the dangerous Spartan 2 augmentation procedures. These procedures killed 30 and physically disabled 12 of the Spartan trainees. John was one of the 33 Spartans who survived the process unscathed, while the rest could still operate were moved to positions in the Office of Naval Intelligence. At only 14 years old, John was said to have a body of an 18-year-old Olympic athlete. The augmentation procedures hastened their reflexes, increased their strength, enhanced their eyesight, and rendered the bones nearly unbreakable. In 2525, John and his fellow Spartan comrades met the Covenant for the first time in John's life. When the Covenant vessel, the Unrelenting, attacked the Commonwealth, John and Spartan 2s engaged in the first battle of the Covenant. The Spartans used thrusters to launch from a Pelican dropship. Each Spartan carried an Anvil 2 air-to-surface missile to destroy the Covenant ship. Only John, Sam, and Kelly reached the ship. So they entered it through a hull breach from Mac round from Commonwealth and succeeded in completing the mission and destroyed the Covenant ship. However, Sam in process died. John and the remaining Spartans fully employed their armor to fight the Covenant Empire for the next 27 years. In 2526, a Covenant attack on the Academy of Military Science sparked the Battle of Cercinius IV. The Academy was destroyed and John's mission was to evacuate the evacuees. And this is where he met Thomas Lasky for the first time. In the fall of Reach, John received his Mark V armor for the first time. He was partnered with Linda and James 005. They went to the Reach Station Gamma to destroy an unsecured NAV database on board the UNSC Circumference. They destroyed the NAV database, but Linda and James were ambushed by Covenant Sangheli. James was lost in space, Linda was critically wounded. After this, John evacuated and fled with the UNSC Pillar of Autumn, and he was placed into cryosleep. After this event, he woke up and finally met Cortana for the first time. And then he was fighting the Covenant again on board the Pillar of Autumn. And eventually, in mission 343 Guilty Spark, he met the Flood for the first time, and 343 Guilty Spark as well for the first time. Eventually, he found out that he was being used for Guilty Spark in 2 betrayals to arm the Halo Rings. He destroyed the Halo Ring in the end and defeated Guilty Spark. In the events of Halo 2, he fought the Covenant and Flood forces, met the Gravemind, and in the end he left Cortana behind and crashed on a planet. In Halo 3, he met with the Arbiter first time, and together they fought the Covenant and Flood forces. They defeated Truth, rescued Cortana, and destroyed the Guilty Spark and a Halo Ring. In Halo 4, after 4 years of sleep, he fought the Covenant again. He crashed Requiem and met the Prometheans for the first time, and fought the Storm Covenant and the Prometheans. Eventually he met the Didact in Mission Forerunner, and by the end of the final mission Midnight, he defeated the Didact and destroyed the Composer, saving Earth from its destruction. However, this is not the end of Chief's story. This is where Chief's story ended in the end of Halo 4, and it will continue in upcoming Halo 5 and Halo 6. Now this concludes the Origins of MasterChief, and concludes the first episode of Video Game Characters Origins. If you liked the video and want to show some support, please click the like button and add this video to favorites. And if you want to show further support, which please do, there's going to be a link in the description below with my Facebook page. Click it and like the Facebook page. On Monday on my Facebook page, you have a chance to vote out of 3 characters which character you want me to talk about in my next Video Game Origins video. If you don't know how to vote, you can either check my previous video, or you can wait till Monday when the voting begins, as I will tell on my Facebook page how to vote. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.